All right, today we are tackling one of the biggest, most frustrating hurdles on the SAT. And get this, it has nothing to do with how much math or vocab you know. Nope, it's all about conquering your own brain. So let's dive in and figure out how to stop overthinking and start, actually scoring some serious points.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're just staring at a question, and you know you should nail it in like 10 seconds flat. But then that little voice in your head starts up. Wait, is this a trick question? Am I missing something? And just like that, you start second-guessing everything. Your confidence just tanks, and suddenly you've wasted a whole minute on what should have been an easy point.
And that right there, that's the enemy we're fighting today. Overthinking. It's the silent point killer. It just sneaks in and sabotages your score when you're not even looking. But hey, don't worry. We're going to arm you with some serious mental kung fu to help you think smarter, faster, and way more clearly when the pressure's on. So, you might be asking, why does my brain even do this? Well, here's the thing. The SAT at its core is super predictable. It's all about patterns. But our brains, they're these incredible machines built to find nuance and complexity in everything, which is amazing for, real life. But on a standardized test, that same instinct becomes our own worst enemy. Okay, so let's break down the classic ways we fall into this trap. First up, reading extra meaning into a question. You see a simple sentence, but your brain goes, ooh, what are they really asking? Then there's assuming the test is trickier than it is. You start hunting for traps that just aren't there. And, oh man, wasting time debating tiny wording differences? Classic. And the last one, maybe the most painful. Doubting the obvious answer. You see the right path, but you think, no way, it can't be that easy, and you pick something way more complicated and wrong. And the result of all this? It's brutal. You're not just losing points, you're also burning through that precious clock, which totally messes you up on the questions down the line. Plus, your anxiety just spikes, making it even harder to think clearly. It's this awful, vicious cycle. But here's the good news. There is absolutely a way to break that cycle. Okay, so listen up, because this next part, this is probably the most important thing you're going to hear. This is your single most powerful weapon against overthinking. Here it is. You have to trust what the question actually says, not what you imagine it says. You've got to become a literal thinker. Your job isn't to be a philosopher or a mind reader for the test makers. Nope. Your job is to answer the question that is printed right there on the page, exactly as it's written. No more, no less. So let's see how this actually works on the test. For grammar, stop asking what sounds best. You're not a poet, you're a mechanic checking for broken rules. For math, you're not there to philosophize about numbers, you're there to compute. Just do the calculation. And for reading, what you feel is the right answer is totally irrelevant. You have to be a detective and find the cold hard evidence right there in the passage. All right, so we've got the core rule down. Now let's build your mental toolkit. Think of these as 5 specific kung fu moves you can pull out the second you feel your brain starting to overthink and spiral.
Move number 1. Identify the question type. Is this a grammar question, a reading question, a math problem? Just naming it helps focus your brain. Move number 2. Simplify the problem. Cut through all the extra fluff, especially in those wordy math problems, and find the bare bones of what's being asked. And for the third move, my favorite for math, is the plug-and-play test. Don't just stare at the letter X. Make it a simple number, like 2 or 10. You got to make the abstract real.
All right, move number 4, eliminate. Don't look for the right answer right away. Instead, get rid of the ones that are obviously totally wrong. It makes your final choice so much easier. And the fifth move, and this one is absolutely crucial. Develop a time mindset. If a question is turning into a huge battle, you have to retreat, flag it, move on, and come back if you have time. You can never, ever let one tough question sink your whole section. I love this because it shows the difference so clearly. On the one side, you've got the overthinking trap. That's when you start imagining extra conditions in a math problem, or you're worrying about what sounds best in a grammar question. But on the other side, that's the elite mindset. The problem is what it is. The rule is the rule. The evidence is what matters. See the difference? It's not about being smarter. It's about being direct and precise. And all of this leads us to the ultimate goal here. Because this isn't just about memorizing a few strategies. It's about developing a whole new way of thinking about the test. It's what we call the elite SAT mindset. You want to know a little secret about the SAT? It actually loves simplicity. The test is designed to reward the most direct, the most straightforward, rule-based answer. So if you find yourself creating a bunch of drama around a question, building this whole complicated story about why an answer could be right, you are almost definitely on the wrong track. So I want you to adopt a new mantra. I'm serious, burn this into your brain. Before you start each section of the test, I want you to say this to yourself. The SAT is predictable. I follow rules. I don't invent problems. This is going to be your anchor. It's what's going to keep you grounded and focused and stop you from getting lost inside your own head. So, what's the payoff for all this mental work? Well, it's huge. We're talking about 5 to 10 points per section. Think about that. That's not from learning any new math or grammar. That's purely from changing the way you think. And you know what? That can be the difference between a good score and a truly great one. Look, let's just be super clear about this. Overthinking does not make you smarter. It's not a sign that you're being more thorough or careful. On the SAT, it's a liability. Plain and simple. It just makes you slower and it makes you wrong. The goal here is precision, not complexity. But when you finally beat it, you unlock your real potential. Your pacing gets faster. Your accuracy goes way up. Your stress just melts away. And best of all, you walk into that test room with some serious, unshakable confidence. You'll know you have the tools to beat not just the SAT, but your own brain. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. The SAT is not a test of your creativity. It's not a test of your imagination. It is a test of your precision. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to be precise?